The introduction to the Book of Mormon states, "In due course the plates, from which the Book of Mormon was supposed to have derived, were delivered to Joseph Smith, who translated them by the gift and power of God. Concerning this record, the prophet Joseph Smith said, I told the brethren that the Book of Mormon was the most correct of any book on earth, and the keystone of our religion, and a man would get nearer to God by abiding by its precepts than by any other book." George Reynolds, who was a member of the First Council of 70, made the following statement concerning the way in which the Book of Mormon was translated. But, at the outset, it must be recollected that the translation was accomplished by no common method, by no ordinary means. It was done by divine aid. There were no delays over obscure passages, no difficulties over the choice of words, no stoppages from the ignorance of the translator. No time was wasted in investigation or argument over the value, intent, or meaning of certain characters, and there were no references to authorities. These difficulties to human work were removed. All was as simple as when a clerk writes from dictation. The translation of the characters appeared on the Urim and Thummim sentence by sentence, and as soon as one was correctly transcribed, the next would appear. Joseph Smith proclaimed that after he and others prayed concerning the Book of Mormon, we heard a voice from out of the bright light above us, saying, "These plates have been revealed by the power of God, and they have been translated by the power of God. The translation of them which you have seen is correct, and I command you to bear record of what you now see and hear." However, since 1830, when it was first published, there have been over 3,900 changes to the Book of Mormon, excluding punctuation. The following are just a few examples. The 1830 Book of Mormon that will be cited is from the University of Utah Library and was formerly owned by LDS Apostle John A. Whitsoe. Take a look for yourself. The phrase "the son of" was added to many passages, which changed the meaning of whom the verses were referencing. The word "done" was replaced with "did" in many passages, such as, the word was replaced with "were" in many passages, such as, The following is a list of changes made to the Book of Mormon between 1920 and 1981. bear in mind that the Book of Mormon was supposed to have been the most correct book on earth and translated by the gift and power of God. As for the Bible, it is the changeless Word of God. Nothing is too hard for God. He is almighty. Nothing is impossible for him. He has declared, "Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away." The word of our God stands forever. One can have absolute assurance that God can and has preserved the Bible. The Old Testament has much to attest to its reliability. Scribes were extraordinarily meticulous in copying manuscripts. The Masoretic text, the Septuagint, a Greek translation of the Old Testament, the Samaritan Pentateuch, and the Dead Sea Scrolls, which contain much of the Old Testament, which date prior to the time of Christ, all attest to the reliability and accuracy of the Old Testament. As for the New Testament, it too has been remarkably preserved. Dr. John MacArthur, pastor-teacher of Grace Community Church since 1969 and the president of the Master's College and the Master's Seminary, recorded, "There are over 5,000 Greek New Testament manuscripts that range from the whole Testament to scraps of papyrus which contain as little as part of one verse. A few existing fragments date back to within 25 to 50 years of the original writing." Apologist Josh McDowell recorded, "There are now more than 5,686 known Greek manuscripts of the New Testament, add over 10,000 Latin Vulgate, and at least 9,300 other versions, and we have close to, if not more than, 25,000 manuscript copies of portions of the New Testament in existence today." In addition to the ancient New Testament manuscripts, there are literally thousands of early church fathers' quotes of the New Testament, by those such as Irenaeus, Justin Martyr, Origen, Clement of Alexandria, among others. Concerning the early church fathers' writings, co-founder of Southern Evangelical Seminary, Dr. Norman Geisler, and William Nix reported, "A brief inventory at this point will reveal there are some 32,000 citations of the New Testament prior to the time of the Council of Nicaea." Josh McDowell recorded that Sir David Dalrymple, Scottish judge and historian, was able to find the entire New Testament with the exception of 11 verses, using only the writings of the early church fathers of the 2nd and 3rd centuries. One can have absolute assurance that God has preserved His Word, the Bible.